My name is Toronite, as you can very clearly see. This is obviously the face that I am wearing, at all times, wearing the mask, of course, blah. But of course, I am not alone in this little spooky journey that we're about to go through in Ghostland Yard. I have two very, very wonderful commentators with me. Why don't you introduce yourself, starting with Maeve?
Hi, my name is mainly Maeve. I am almost as adept at navigating these spooky depths as Toronite here, but you can also count on someone else to help us through.
Yes. Hi, I'm OddKara. And I will also be helping navigate. No, well, not navigating myself, but, explaining what's going on with my expertise.
And yes, and of course, before we get to navigating all 120 levels, yes, 120 levels in less than 35 minutes, hopefully less than 35 minutes, we need to make a decision as to what color our ghosty little protagonist, Poe, is going to be. So, wonderful, wonderful host, do you have a winner?
Yes, I do. The winning color for the Poe color bid war is blue.
Yay, let's go blue. So this is one of the cool things about Ghostland Yard is that you can customize Poe's color in almost any way you can imagine with all these different sliders and all these different little preset colors. That's wonderful. I'm so glad. Thank you to everyone who donated to Lambda Legal and for choosing Poe's color. Not gonna lie, I'm actually really happy because that is actually blue is the color I run the most, and actually the color I had both when I got a PB in this game 4 days ago, believe it or not. So I feel like that is a good sign of things to come. So Ghostland Yard is a wonderful indie game made by Obelisk Studios, and it is a love letter to speedrunning in a lot of different ways, including a speedrun category on the main menu. So you can do an entire speedrun of this game with an in-game timer, no cutscenes whatsoever. So these are the settings that we are going to be working with. I'm not going to include races because those are just extra bonus levels, but other than that, everything seems to be all set. And we are ready to go. So time goes on first movement of Poe. And so it's not when we start the run, it's when we start movement. So I'm going to count us down in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. So Ghostland Yard.
And we're on.
So Ghostland Yard, you're already kind of starting to see pretty simple game. You run and you jump, and that's kind of basically the extension of Poe's movements. The beauty of this game comes in the gimmicks that are thrown around you throughout this entire adventure. As you're already kind of starting to see how there's a lot of pink stuff in this in these levels. Pink kills you, so you do not want to touch the pink. So we're already just blazing through this game, already 4 levels on 4th level, and already 30 seconds in. So yeah, I'm going to just go through this little tutorial world, which is world 1, and let Maeve and Kara just kind of take it away.
Yeah, so this is World 1, the caves. Very simple, as you would expect a World 1 to do. We don't have any dialogue boxes telling you, oh, press blah to jump. It's fully there for you to figure out, okay, how does jumping feel? How does wall jumping feel? And we'll see a little bit of the mechanic of spitters that will come out and give us some cycles for Toro to work around. Right there.
Yeah. And as you can kind of see, it's the first world, so none of the levels are very long, and Toronite's very well practiced, so a lot of these are going by, and just the quickest of flashes. We're already on level 14, and there's a lot of diversity in what's going on. Some of the levels, it really is just you hold right. Other levels, you're jumping up walls, and you're avoiding these spitters, like Maeve mentioned. So even just in this first world, when we don't quite have as many things trying to hurt us and things to avoid, there is still some diversity in the levels.
Mm-hmm. And those jumps are variable. You hit the jump a little bit, you do a small jump. You hit the jump for a long time, you get a big jump. So it's not just the 1-0. You got a lot more control over opposed movements than you might initially expect.
And
Right,
this is
boss
our first
number 1.
boss.
Woo!
The bosses are kind of a departure from the rest of the game because once again, there's still a pink monster trying to hurt you, but now we're touching these green levers, or when they turn green, and that'll help us defeat the boss.
And every single boss in this game, they have a slightly different gimmick. Most of them kind of still follow the same rule of like lever turns green, touch it, and you get a hit in. So there's no like actual quote unquote combat in this game. It's just a matter, everything's a big old platform puzzle, even on the bosses themselves. So very nice, very clean World 1. Very happy because now we're on to arguably the best music in this entire game. Although the soundtrack in this game is just absolutely wonderful.
While we're jamming out, could I share a donation and an announcement?
Please.
Yes.
Excellent. We have $25 from King JO444, who says, "Let's go, Toro. I and the rest of the Ghostland Yard speedrun community are so proud of you for getting the game into Games Done Queer. Thank you for introducing me to such an amazing game, and I'm so proud by your rapid and constant improvement leading up to this run, along with how much the Ghostland Yard community has grown this year in general. Also, shoutouts to Kara and Maeve, who are absolutely going to be killing it on commentary. P.S. I will donate another $25 if you go deathless on the final boss. Good luck on the run, and I can't wait to hang out again at AGDQ. Thank you for your donation, King J.O., and that is helping us towards the Apocalypse World 1 incentive for this very game. But we only have under 30 minutes to get there, chat. You are not going to want to miss this incentive. It will add so many incredibly challenging levels to the end of the run, and I know we'll have a great time watching Toronite do that, but only if you go to gdq.gg/donate and help contribute towards it. Toro, I'd also love to know a bit about what makes those Apocalypse World levels just so challenging.
I can best describe it in one word. Kaizo-esque. The way the Apocalypse Worlds work is that they are exponentially harder versions of the levels that you're seeing in this game. The World 1 version of Apocalypse is harder than the final worlds. Like, I'm going to be honest, if we hit that incentive, I can almost guarantee you there are going to be more deaths and resets in Apocalypse 1 than maybe the entire run, just to kind of illustrate how difficult these levels are. However, I've gotten pretty darn good at these 20 levels that we would be showcasing, and I actually just this week got to second place on SRC in that category with a 3:35 in-game time as my new PB. So, but still, extremely difficult. You do not want to miss this.
That's awesome. Again, folks, gdq.gg/donate or use the Twitch extension with that donate to charity button and we can get there, but we have 25 odd minutes, so make it happen, Twitch.
And with the way this run has been going so far, probably not even 25.
Not even 25 minutes, Twitch.
All right. Before we find ourselves outside of World 2 already, because we're at the end, let's quickly go over. We're at the boss, actually. The main mechanics of this world have been slidey saws that have been going back and forth, bagpipes, which are very important, and let's see, I'm forgetting.
I think that's it, unless I'm also forgetting.
No, neither of you are forgetting. It's just a lot of cycle work that just now becomes a bigger emphasis on making sure you get things on the right cycles. Like this one, falling down, making sure that the cycles are good. Okay, this is actually kind of an interesting cycle, but yeah, no, we're good. We're good. This is actually almost exactly the same very weird cycle I got in practice like 20 minutes before we got on air. So you know what? Very glad I practiced that. So far, this run has been going very, very well.
And now World 3. Now we've got all the same mechanics as before, but we've got moving platforms, as well as, we haven't seen it yet, but we also will have wind that'll crop up in another level or two. And just more things. The environment is starting to move you more than just you moving yourself. And so we get to manage that in our journey across.
Yeah, and this is where the difficulty really starts to ramp up a little bit. It's none more so than in this level. Normally, you could take this as an autoscroller and be fine, but okay, that's fine. It is not an easy level, even going with this there is an even harder strat for this level, but still, going through World 3 is no joke, as you're kind of now starting to see us having to adjust our jump modulation, our jump height a little bit, especially now with the gusts being coming into play. It now becomes they don't just push you up, they also kind of work a little bit like anti-gravity. So that is another element about the winds that you really have to be mindful of.
Wanted to call it epic crossover for this $10 donation to Lambda Legal, saying, started playing this game recently, and usually I don't like precision platformers that much, but I have really enjoyed this game, and I'm so happy to see Toronite show off this game on GD Queer. Good luck.
Thank you very much. Yeah, no, Lambda Legal is a wonderful organization that I encourage everyone to go out and support. And I'm so glad that this game is doing a little bit of its part in helping Lambda Legal's mission.
We appreciate it too. And just let me know whenever you want more donations and I'll keep tossing them your way. They are coming in and we will need them, chat, because we still need about $1,500 to get the incentive. I have every confidence that we can get there.
Absolutely. So the one thing that you're now starting to see is kind of like the little spitter plants now really start to come into play with in conjunction with the gusts of wind. You're seeing a lot of like elements from like prior worlds really starting to intertwine with the new mechanics in these in every world that gets introduced. So thankfully, with mastery of precision platforming and the mid-air jump, not having to go full tilt on your jumping, it really is going to be a lot of, it's going to be key, and especially patient, because sometimes you can be a little bit too aggressive and it just becomes, it puts you in a really difficult spot because you're going a little bit too aggressive. So sometimes patience is key here.
Yeah, no. So often I find that when I'm really rushing is when I make the most mistakes in Ghostland Yard. So patience is key, and just sticking to your, what you know how to do. Not trying to push things too much, especially, in a long form run like any percent.
Yes, especially
huge news, everyone.
Ooh.
Just today, we have already raised $6,500 for Lambda Legal.
Woo!
Let's go.
And we got there in part thanks to this $25 donation from the Tara Stark. Tara says, so proud of this little community playing this little game and how it's gotten to this not so little stage. Happy Spooky, and thanks for kicking pink butt. Yeah. And thank you, Tara, for your donation.
Tara, I would dare say, has been one of the most influential people in this game's community, bar none. I think it's safe to say, Kara, Maeve, if it wasn't for Tara, none of us would have maybe even heard of this game.
Yeah, no, absolutely not. So, big shout outs to Tara for helping expand the community.
It's also thanks to her we have the auto splitters for this game. So you can go to the SRC page and download the auto splitter for whether it's a world-based run that you're doing or a full any percent run. She's definitely done a huge part in making sure speedrunning Ghostland Yard is as accessible and as fun as it is.
Well, thank you so much to Tara Stark for that. I also want to give another really heartfelt thank you. We just had a $200 donation come in from Avery.
Let's go.
They say, access to HRT and gender-affirming surgery saved my life. Queer community saved my life. Trans rights forever. Less than 3. Thank you so much, Avery. You are doing incredible work yourself by helping us raise money this GD Queer for Lambda Legal.
Yeah, no, seriously. And if I may for a quick second, just talk the fact that I came out earlier this year, actually at the start, and my journey to get to where I am at and feeling comfortable with coming out, it's only that decision was reinforced by the fact that I had such a wonderful support system and being able to meet and befriend so many wonderful people. Kara and Maeve being two of the best people I've met since I kind of joined this community, not just the overall speedrunning circles that we share in, but just being a part of the LGBTQIA plus community it's been a wonderful decision for me, because I was afraid. I will admit, I was afraid of how I was going to be looked at, and I'm happy to say that because of the strong sense of community everyone shares, that I feel really happy with my decision to be openly out and proud.
We're so glad that you're that you're feeling that, and that we're able to help, in that little way or that big way,
100%.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, now that we're in, we finished through World 3, you're kind of noticing World 4's mechanics of using these little slingshots. Ooh, okay. These little slingshots kind of propelling you way up into whatever direction you start jumping off. And these little green moss, slime, squishy things, whatever you want to call them, sticking you to the wall, which is kind of introducing like a bit of an interesting little mechanic and play with the with how you interact with the environment, and now becomes like a very different way of how you want to approach the precision platforming in here.
Yeah, I will say these slingshots always give me the hardest time, especially because I come from this game originally from an angle of doing a lot of individual level speedruns, so I'm really trying to grind just for that last little 100th of a second. And the slingshots are one of my least favorite parts, because they're, one little 100th of a second later, and you're going at a drastically different angle.
And one thing that Kara just touched upon a second ago is tackling the ILs of this. As I mentioned, this game is a love letter to speedrunning, and they made a lot, and the developers did a terrific job with introducing a lot of elements of this game to make it very speedrun friendly. One thing, for example, is that you can tackle any level you want and play it individually, and there's even like an IL leaderboard in every single level. And not only that, you can also tackle every single apocalypse level individually at your own pace, and even go and watch how your friends on Steam who play this game do in certain levels, and be able to race against their ghost data. Get it? Because we're playing as Pogo Ghost, and and I've grown. My skill level in this game has grown tremendously just from watching Maeve and Kara approach to a lot of these levels. Like, some of the shortcuts I've taken so far in this game have all been because I was able to use the feature this game has of being able to watch other runners' way of approaching some of the levels.
I've got another announcement whenever there's a good moment, so just let me know.
Actually, this is a perfect time because there's going to be a lot of waiting with this next boss. So yeah, floor is yours.
Do tell. I'll run with it then. Well, I have great news. We have opened a new bid war for the upcoming game. This is for Eternal Darkness. You can help choose the alignment of enemies and puzzles that the player will encounter throughout the game. I'm not even trying to pronounce this. The red option has the toughest enemies, but the green one is the toughest speedrun, but blue is simply the easiest. So help us figure out how easy of a time our runner is going to have by us contributing to that Eternal Darkness Sanity's Requiem bid war. You can also help us. That's not the order of those words. You can help us keep pushing towards that incentive to get the Apocalypse World. We are about 25% of the way there, and we are running out of time. We are getting reinforcements, though. Fierce Wolf sent in this $25 saying, Halloween requires additional spoopy ghost game.
Yeah.
True.
We also had $10 from Anonymous to help us out here, who said, this run is a vibe. Thank you so much, folks, for donating to Lambda Legal. Keep up the pressure, Twitch chat. gdq.gg/donate or go through the Twitch extension. Make sure that if you go through gdq.gg/donate, you are selecting the incentive for the Apocalypse Worlds. And if you're going through the Twitch extension, you can use that GDQ logo to apply it still to that incentive. We can make it happen.
That was an incredible backup on that boss, Toro.
Yeah, so that boss is very cycle cycle heavy, especially with the movement and manipulating it. And thankfully, we're able to go through World 5 now relatively unscathed, because that, aside from the final boss, taking a death at the boss at World 4 is probably the most punishing one in the entire game. So going through it deathless is absolutely stellar in a marathon setting. And so and World 5 introduces these amazing mechanic, my favorite mechanic in the entire game, these little extra multi-jump orbs where if we have one, then we can get another one. And so, however, I'm going to do something and ignore the mechanic and see if I can get a very... Oh, okay. I'm going to go for it one more time. A very precise shortcut, and no. Okay, that's fine. You kind of saw more or less where I was going. You have to be extremely precise with it. But at the very least, we have the safe strat and just go for the little extra jump here. But with good mastery of the platforms and being able to know how far you can extend your jumps, you can skip large portions of the levels here. And it is maybe arguably one of the most satisfying things to do is in Ghostland Yard, especially this one. I love this one. This is essentially the world record route to do this, where we basically ignore the entire right half of the level. And there we go. No problem right there.
Easy work. It is really satisfying to skip a lot of these extra jumps and even end off the level with an extra one or two as they're floating around Poe.
Special shout out to the vibes of World 5, the sub base. Love being able to see all the fishies and sharks swim around.
Also, I wanted to check, how
place.
much time do y'all think is left in the base run right now?
I would say if all goes well, maybe about
7 or 8 minutes.
7,
Okay, chat.
8 minutes.
That may not sound like much time, but I have every confidence.
Yeah, this run is going like pretty darn well.
While that is great to hear, it means that we really need to keep up the pressure on the donations, everyone.
Yeah, and if you caught it earlier, Toro did just get a PB in this game 4 days ago. So he's been improving day in and day out
means,
at
chat,
this game.
That means, chat, that we really need to keep up that pressure. Make sure that you go to gdq.gg/donate or use the Twitch extension and put your donations towards the Apocalypse World 1 incentive. It's not much time, but we can get there.
Yeah.
We need
really
to see Toro
see
suffer. I mean, have a great time in Apocalypse World.
Two things can be right.
Oh my god.
Making our way through. This is one of the levels that I'd sometimes have if you push it too hard, you go for an extra cycle, it can really be punishing, and it's interesting how much this game just rewards you to stick to what you know and not push things too much.
Oh my gosh, huge news. Thank you so much, Fiona Valkyrie, for donating $250 to Lambda Legal.
Go.
Huge.
Amazing. I am loving all the support, and the donations are rolling. I love it.
We're really moving, chat. Keep it up. Make sure they go towards the incentive. Go, 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 go.
Yeah, because we're actually just about to go for the boss of the penultimate world. So yeah, not much time. This boss operates a little bit differently than most bosses, whereas instead of levers, you have to grab these little boxes, and that's how you actually are able to take care of the boss. However, this is a very weirdly cycled base type of boss where some of the tentacles kind of go leave depending on your routing of this boss. But so far, hopefully, there we go. Nice.
Nice. Yeah, that one. A lot of people take slightly different routes, and but it is really interesting seeing people, the solutions that people end up coming up with. Because the first time you do that boss without any sort of route in mind, it can be such a grueling task.
Does that put us then on World 6, the final world, by any chance?
Yes, it does.
Well, great news. I have a $126 donation from Comrade Dog.
Woo!
Comrade Dog.
Comrade Dog.
Dog
There
says
he is on the
apocalypse
screen.
sounds dangerous. Don't worry, I got your back. P.S. Trans rights in space. Thank you, Comrade Dog. Twitch chat, we are really moving and we need to race Toro if we want this incentive met to get all those cool Apocalypse Kaizo levels. So please keep the donations coming. There's so much I can barely keep up.
Yeah. Yeah, and by the way, the World 6 is no joke, but so far it's been going very, very well. World 6 introduces the one of two mechanics. They're both kind of part A and part B. You're kind of seeing these little blue and orange orbs kind of opening and closing certain doors or certain walls. Now that becomes a big play of trying to make sure that you're on cycle and that you're able to make those critical jumps, because it also reintroduces a lot of mechanics from prior worlds. So it makes for a very difficult final world. It's a gauntlet for sure.
Absolutely.
100%.
You're making.
Could I
quick
jump
work
in with
of
a
it.
few rapid fire donations as we try to hit this
Oh, yeah.
incentive together?
Please.
Excellent. Thank you to Ali7 for $50 to Lambda Legal, saying great commentary from Maeve and Kara. We also have another $50 donation from Ada. Shout out to the runners, commentators, donators, and viewers. Orange heart. Let's go Apocalypse. Thanks
I
again
know
to a
that we can make
$5 donation from Jarmo. Okay, fine, I'll donate again because we want to see this apocalypse. Let's go 7K. Let's go, Toro. Thanks for playing Ghostland Yard. Much love to all the queer Neurospicy community. Love you all. Bagpipes for the win. Thank you, folks. We're making great progress. Keep up the pressure.
Yeah, and we want to talk about pressure. World 6 now introduces the second half of these of this little gimmick, where now everything just, instead of you activating the switches, it does it by itself in a nice little bit of a rhythmic tune. And now we just got to make sure that I don't go off tune and off rhythm with some of these. But so far,
Yeah.
everything's going pretty peachy.
Now,
PG
this is
means
a-
we still don't have much time, chat. gdq.gg/donate.
We're already 3/4 of the way through the levels in World 6 and coming up quick on our final boss, which will take a little bit of time, but seeing how Toro's performing right now, not that much.
Not at all.
Yeah, if I fulfill King J's wishes for a deathless final boss, it's only going to be lasting about 2 minutes long. But just gonna show and highlight how difficult and very complex that the final boss is. It is the only boss in the entire game where there are checkpoints after every single phase, where all bosses prior, if you take a death, you have to redo the entire boss fight. This one, no. It's so long and so complex that every phase is its own checkpoint. But before we get to that, I need to go through 620, which is this level. It's short, but it's very pressure packed because you have to be extremely accurate with your cycles. And finger slip there. That's fine. That is
It's
totally
a
fine.
real hard level. And I actually commend Toro for being able to really modulate the position in these wind gusts here to make it to the end. There we go.
All right.
And here we are in the final boss. We're fighting this big computer who doesn't seem to like us, throws these balls around and shoots a big laser at us. And there's kind of two phases. This first phase where we're, gonna get to these levers to knock out the computer for a little bit. And then this chase phase where we're being chased by one of these dogs, as we have, learned to call them. Grab one of these chips, and that's phase 1. Little mini checkpoint.
Speaking of dogs, we do see our little friend Comrade Dog hanging out at the bottom of the screen right there, having a good old time in space.
Yeah.
And you're kind of now seeing how some of these phases, like I mentioned, like the thing with World 6, introducing mechanics from past worlds and kind of putting a new twist on them.
Mm-hmm.
I'll jump in very quick to say the donations are coming in. We can get some more, though, Twitch chat. Keep going.
Yep, because we are basically at the tail end. We are at phase 3. We'll see how this goes, but if I go deathless, it's going to be time in about 40 seconds. So, yeah, we'll
All right,
see how
chat.
this goes.
Do it for Lambda Legal. Do it for Comrade Dog.
Yeah.
Comrade Dog.
Dog needs your help. Oh,
Oh,
fun cycles.
ooh.
Yeah, that was a very,
got through
very
it.
interesting cycle.
Let's go, Toro.
And
coming
it'll
up
be
on
time in 3, 2, 1, time.
Time.
There
Let's
we go.
go.
Let's go.
I am-
GG.
Deathless final boss is no joke. It is extremely difficult to go deathless on the final boss. And I am so happy because my goal for this run was to at least get a 25. And I'm very, very happy that we just, by the skin of our teeth, just narrowly got that 25, and it kind of goes to show that we got 10 deaths and 3 resets. So that's a nice little feature telling you that's actually pretty solid. That's a solid run for a no reset environment.
Incredible work.
And
Toronite, would you care to make any shout outs?
yes. First of all, I want to give a shout out to the Ghostland Yard development team, Obelisk Studios, who developed this just absolutely beautiful, wonderful game. I'm not much of a precision platformer type of player. However, this game was charming from the very beginning. I saw, as I mentioned earlier, D. Tara Stark was the person who was my introduction to this game, having watched her, funny enough, when I was at PAX West last year as a backup runner for GDQ when they were stationed there. And the butterfly effect of me tuning into Tara's stream to getting to where we are, I really cannot thank Tara enough for it. And Maeve and Kara, they picked up the game this year, and they were a big inspiration for me grinding to where I am right now. The 3 of them get massive shout outs because they were the reason I even got to this level. Shout outs to Jarmu, who actually had her donation read earlier. Phenomenal runner, a fantastic runner who actually has done a few showcase runs, and I've been able to pick up a few things. Just the overall speedrunning community is just absolutely lovely. Mathrais, who is the world record holder of this game, who has given me a plenty of tips and been able to study. King J for kind of being sort of like the, in a way, kind of like the little brother, my little brother in this game, and pushing each other to the levels that we are at right now. And yeah, I wish I had a million years to kind of keep going, but I want to also give the floor to Maeve and Kara, who they did a wonderful job as well.
I'd also just want to, shout out the community. Like Tora was saying, Tara's the reason that all 3 of us started playing this game, and she's actually a big reason that the game kind of broke out of the mostly French space that it was in, because the devs are French and a lot of the speedrunning community is French. But slowly but surely, the North American sphere is getting more, more involved in getting higher up on the leaderboards.
Yeah, it's been a great community to run in, to hang out with, and I hope we keep running and moving on, doing great things.
Yeah, I agree. And please, this game is not that expensive on Steam. I highly recommend. It's such a wonderful game. There is the skill ceiling, or the skill floor, I should say, is pretty low. It is a very, very nice game for people who are new to precision platforming. But the skill ceiling is also extremely high, meaning it gives you plenty of opportunity to grow and get better at the game. Like I was, when I first played this game, my first run was a shade under 2 hours, and look at where we're at right now. So it goes to show that anybody can speedrun this game, and anybody can be a part of this wonderful community that's really broken out in here in 2025.
I also wanted to quickly shout out, we did get a $25 donation in from King JO444 saying, living up to my promise, here's an extra $25 for that perfect boss fight. Congrats, Toro, on such a great run.
Yeah, thank you so much to everyone who donated. I really cannot thank you all enough. If I'm forgetting somebody, I deeply apologize. There's a lot of people I want to shout out. But yeah, that'll pretty much do it for me. If you like what you see, I play this game quite a bit. I also am a bit of a variety speedrunner, from Pokemon, various Pokemon games, to Spyro, to Game Boy Color and PlayStation 1 games. I kind of do it all. So if that's up to you, so that's something you like, feel free to drop a follow.